Beginning, the Hungry Sisters. The dust storms of Orinth 9 were some of the harshest in the Perseus Drift. They tore across the wasteland like living beasts, chewing through metal, glass, flesh didn't matter. No one sane left shelter during a storm. I only did because my delivery job required it, and because my boss didn't care whether I lived or died as long as the crates made it on time. That day, I had to deliver nutrient capsules to the mining settlement on the far edge of the dunes. The settlement was small, mostly human, a few androids, and a handful of alien refugees from scattered worlds. Nothing unusual. But the storm hit earlier than forecasted, and my rover broke down halfway there. I had to walk the last 4 kilometers through slicing grit, clutching my thermal scarf like it was a lifeline. By the time I reached the outskirts, I was half blinded and half frozen. The settlement's lights were dim, flickering like they were starved for power. Something felt off. You learn to trust that kind of feeling on a frontier world. I headed toward the nearest shelter, a small outpost dome built from rusted metal plates and ancient plasma welds. The wind died as soon as the hatch sealed behind me. I stumbled inside, but froze when I heard sobbing. 2 figures were huddled near a cold heating unit. One small, one slightly older. Aliens. Their skin was a soft lavender, dusted with swirling markings like constellations. Their eyes glowed faintly, even in the dim light. I recognized the species, Lunari, refugees from a collapsed moon colony. Most were children, because their adults had died in the implosion. These 2 were definitely children. The older girl, maybe 16 human years, clutched her younger sister tightly. The little one was trembling uncontrollably. I stepped forward carefully. "Hey, are you 2 okay?" The older girl jolted up, pulling her sister behind her. Fear flashed in her glowing eyes. "Please," she whispered, voice shaking, "don't take us." "I'm not here to hurt you," I said quickly. "I just needed shelter from the storm." The girl stared at my clothing, the delivery crate strapped to my back. Realization hit her. Hard. You have food." Her voice cracked. "Real food." I glanced down at the crate. Yeah. Nutrient capsules, medical grade. Not luxury stuff, but enough to keep a miner alive. The younger girl whimpered. The older one swallowed hard and stepped forward slowly, like approaching a wild animal. Then she knelt. In front of me. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Please. Feed my sister, human. She hasn't eaten in 2 days." Her hands trembled. "You can take me instead." My breath caught. "Take you?" I repeated, stunned. What does that even mean? I'm not trading for anyone. But her eyes were raw with desperation. "The miners, they trade things for food," she whispered. "Tools. Clothes. Sometimes," she paused, shaking. "People. If you feed her, I will work for you. Follow you. Do anything. Just, don't let her starve." My chest tightened painfully. Hey, I said, kneeling too. "Look at me. I'm not buying you. I'm not buying anyone." She flinched, but looked up slowly. Her eyes were bright, shimmering like cracked stars. "What's your name?" I asked. "Silka," she whispered. "And this is Lyra." I gently placed the crate on the ground and opened it. Silka gasped. Lyra's glowing eyes widened. I handed a capsule to the little sister. She devoured it. Silka watched, tears streaming silently. Only then did I realize how bad things were. "How long have you 2 been alone?" I asked softly. Silka wiped her cheek. 7 cycles. The humans here don't help us anymore. The settlers say Lunari eat too much and don't work enough. They say, we're a burden. Your kids. They don't care. I handed Silka a capsule. She hesitated, then ate it slowly, like she was afraid it would disappear. The storm howled outside, but inside the dome it felt eerily quiet. Too quiet. Silka, I said gently, why were you so sure I would make you trade yourself? She kept her eyes down. Because most humans do. My heart clenched. But before I could respond, the hatch slammed open. 3 miners stomped inside, wrapped in dusty cloaks. Their helmets hissed from pressure shift. When they saw me and the Lunari girls, they stopped. Then they smirked. Well, the leader drawled. Looks like you found our little runaways. Silka grabbed Lyra protectively, eyes wide. I stood up slowly. Runaways? They were starving. They needed help. They always need help, the miner sneered. And they never pay for it. She's a child, I snapped. We feed 'em when they work. He shrugged. But she hasn't earned anything in 2 days. I glanced back at Silka. She was trembling. Terrified. The realization hit me like a punch. They weren't workers. They were indentured. Practically enslaved. My fists clenched. The miners stepped forward. Hand 'em over, the leader growled. They belong to us. I stepped in front of the girls. No. They don't. His eyes narrowed. You got death wishes in your blood, courier. She's starving, I said again. She's a kid. You're treating them like. He grabbed my collar. Move. Silka screamed. Lyra cried. I acted before I could think, slammed my head into the man's helmet, then shoved him backward. He stumbled. His companions lunged. I grabbed the crate and backed the girls into a corner. But the miners blocked the exit. And I didn't have a weapon. The debt they never owed. Silka, I whispered urgently, is there another exit? She shook her head. The miners laughed. You're trapped, the leader said, drawing a shock baton. Give us the Lunari, and maybe we let you limp home. Never, Silka whispered, hugging Lyra. I stepped in front of them. Tell you what, I said, forcing my voice steady, how about I pay whatever debt you think they owe? Name your price. The leader smirked. 300 creds per kid. That's insane. Yeah, he said coldly, but they're rare. And he jabbed the baton toward Silka, has energy markings. Means she'll develop powers. She's worth double. Silka flinched. Lyra whimpered. My stomach twisted. You know what? The leader snarled. Forget the creds. We'll just take all of you. More workers means more quotas. I didn't get a chance to respond. He lunged. But before he could strike, something happened, something impossible. The air vibrated. A faint glow wrapped around Silka's hands. Then, tomb. The shockwave threw the miners across the room. My hair stood on end. The air tasted electric. Silka collapsed to her knees, panting. Lyra hugged her tightly. I knelt beside them. Silka, what was that? She looked terrified even of herself. My powers, she whispered. They're waking. Lunari energy abilities manifest when we're scared. Or starving. Or desperate. The miners groaned, trying to stand. I grabbed Silka gently. We need to get you out of here. Both of you. But, where? She whispered. To my rover, I said. I can get you to the main colony. Real authorities. Real help. Silka swallowed hard. And after that? You choose, I said simply. Not me. Not them. You. Her eyes widened. She had never been given a choice before. The escape. The storm outside was easing, but the visibility was still terrible. I wrapped the girls in thermal blankets and held Lyra in my arms while Silka followed close behind. The miners stumbled after us, shouting threats, but the storm muffled their voices. I found my broken rover buried halfway in sand. The engine wouldn't start, but the emergency beacon still worked. I slapped it. A soft blue pulse shot upward.